Hello and welcome back to Innovation Oxford. I'm your host, Michael Harding. And as you know, we've been traveling Oxford County looking for entrepreneurs and innovative investments of all kinds. And today we're going to be looking at the firm that Jake Rosendahl built. Jake Rosendahl found himself in Oxford County in 1978, a recent immigrant from Holland. He had a degree in agriculture with experience on his father's farm and training as a mechanic and a welder. Today we're going to see the firm that Jake built, Salford Farm Machinery. What's a residue tillage specialist?
Okay, so it's a tool that's designed basically on a field cultivator frame. But whereas a field cultivator has earth-moving tools, soil-moving tools that run and scrape the ground below the surface, creating a density layer, a change in density, the residue tillage specialist runs a coulter. So rather than create this layer this way, it slices the soil that way. So it greatly reduces the resistance area for a root system.
And did you invent this here?
Yes, we did. We're the patent holders for it.
That you do final assembly 75% of the time and 25% on-site manufacturing?
Approximately, yes.
And so these sources of supply, are they regional?
Yes, they are. Yeah, we outsource a lot of our manufacturing locally here, probably within a 60-minute driving distance. Yeah, so that way we can keep a close eye on quality. We have good relationships with them. We can communicate with them on a regular basis, probably daily.
And of course, designed to your specs.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Would you say that your prowess is in engineering and designing those specifications? How long did it take you to put it together?
Actually, it came together very quickly. We've got this terrific engineering department that's able to take these ideas and turn them into machinery. And from the initial idea, which we started discussing in 2002, till the time we had the first machine built and in the field was 1 year. We introduced it in the spring of 2003.
After the machine is designed and ready for production, it comes into the fabrication department here, where we will cut and fabricate the components. We do just-in-time manufacturing here, so we'll produce one machine at a time. And from this department, it'll go over to our welding department.
And are these parts that you've assembled yourself, or have you received them and are putting them together?
These components here are components that we're starting from scratch, and we will be producing them completely from start to finish.
So tell me about your competition. I mean, I gather it must be gigantic.
It is, absolutely, yeah. We're dealing with competitors like Case and John Deere. Yeah, they're huge competition.
Now, John Deere have largely moved their farm operation manufacturing out of this country back into the United States, but you're still here.
Yeah,
how do you do it?
It's actually not that hard. We have niche products, and we're very competitive in our manufacturing. We have a good product that people are willing to buy, and a lot of our products are actually going over to the U.S., to the southern side of the border here. So, yeah, no, we're exporting a lot of our machines to the U.S. market, actually.
Has the Canadian dollar hurt you?
It has a little bit. It's hurt profit margins a little bit, however. We're also buying components from the U.S., so that helps
balance it out.
Balance it out, yeah.
Our primary market is the northern half of the U.S., with some equipment down in Texas. We're all across Western Canada, now in the Prairie Provinces, Ontario. We've got some machines down here in central Brazil, some machines in Australia. We have a distributor in Australia.
Yep.
But we sell a lot of equipment into this region here. And
the breadbasket of the Soviet Union,
of the old Soviet Union,
Ukraine, and
yes.
Yep. And so their cultural practices would be very comparable to...
Very similar to Western Canada, Western U.S. grain belt and the dryland farming belt.
We'll be right back with more innovation after this brief timeout.
How long have you worked for this company?
It's almost 10 years now.
You must have started right out of elementary school.
No, not quite that young, but yeah, I started pretty young. Yeah, we were a small company when I started. We were producing about 100 machines a year. Right now we're producing 1,200 machines a year.
In 10 years?
Yeah.
Amazing.
We've not had too much problems finding good welders. We found that there's quite a few welding shops in the area, and we have a competitive wage, a good work environment, so we've not had a problem finding good welders.
And your employees stay, once they're here, they stay for a while?
Yeah, we have very low employee turnover. Usually once they're in the door, they stay. Yeah. So we're welding a plow here right now, just finishing the touch-ups, so it's pretty much ready to go into paint.
Part of being innovative is stay ahead of the curve.
Yes.
How do you achieve that?
We spend a lot of time in research and development. We have, right now we have 18 or 19 engineers constantly looking at innovation and product improvement. Our sales group is very good. They are constantly coming up with new ideas. We have customers that generate a lot of ideas for us for product development or product improvement, and we take all those ideas seriously. We evaluate almost every idea, and we experiment with them. If it looks like it's going to be successful, then we put more resources into it. Very nimble, we're very flexible, we're very reactive to the market. We can maneuver a lot quicker than our competitors. We can change our strategy, our marketing strategy, our manufacturing strategy. We can adapt very quickly to the changing markets. We also strive and we push innovation. Our employees, we ask them for their ideas all the time. We kind of almost push them to be innovative, ask them to generate ideas for product improvement. We actually reward them for good ideas that they bring forward and that. So our whole business revolves around flexibility and innovation.
My first question is, this thing is packed up for delivery. So what happens after it's delivered and placed on the ground?
All right, well, you hook it up to the tractor, get it ready to go. Once the hydraulics are on, fold it out, and the RTS is designed for seedbed preparation in the spring with some light mechanical weed control. And in the fall, the RTS can be used to manage leftover residue, so it'll improve decomposition through the fall and winter months, and leave you with a more prepared seedbed for the spring as well.
These look very, very different. What makes these special?
Well, as Jim was saying earlier, the Coulter design, the mounts on the RTS is quite different than a regular cultivator, where you're using a similar spring-loaded shank, but in here with the coil spring, we're allowed to put able to put a lot more pressure to the ground, and because of the vertical action of the blades, we don't risk that secondary density layer. So it's this machine is a patented Salford design and unique to the equipment industry.
And this replaces other products which would have a single blade or something like that?
A machine that would, a disc would typically carry blades like this. Now again, it's sort of the hybrid between a disc and a cultivator. A disc would normally carry all its blades on a gang. And
a gang means stacked one after the other.
Exactly. One long bolt would carry each of those. So as the machine's passing through the field, residue can build up and get caught in that gang, and it decreases the performance of the machine, can cause the machine to ride out of the ground. So the individually mounted blades, more similar to the cultivator design, allow residue to pass through the machine, so it continues to chop and resize that residue without becoming plugged or losing performance as it passes through the field.
How do you price out this kind of equipment?
Well, the RTS, we often talk about price per foot of working width. So between the heavy-duty series and standard RTS, we range between $2,500 and $2,300 per foot. So the unit we're looking at would be about $32,000 for the 16-foot RTS.
Is there competition?
For the RTS unit, we classify it as a vertical tillage machine, and there are many manufacturers who are in and who claim to be in the vertical tillage game or market, so to speak. In terms of an individually mounted blade machine, we are the industry's only North American answer to vertical tillage.
Salford Farm Machinery has a real lesson here for us all. Stick to what you know best, do it the best you can, grow into your future, and be successful and take on sizable competition. We'll be right back after the break.